Hey, lovely leaders. Welcome to the Not Your Dad's Leadership Podcast. This is a podcast where we support you in deepening your leadership practice each week. I'm your host, Lindsay, your go-to girly for all things feminine leadership, self-love, and soft skill integration. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy you're here. How are you doing? What have you been up to lately? How have you been feeling? I know we're still in a really heavy time, so I hope you are taking care of yourself. I've been really focusing on my self-care the last few weeks, and I've been laying pretty low. Nothing too excited on the home front to report. We did go see a movie. We went to Heretic at my favorite place, the Alamo Draft House. We have it here in downtown LA. If you have one in your city, congratulations. If you don't, I'm really sorry for you. We love getting there 30 minutes early and, watching that curated pre-movie show that they put on. And it's not previews. It's like things that inspired the writers or directors or like music videos from music in the movie. It's like scenes from old movies or TV shows along the same themes. It's so awesome and it just like sets the vibe. But yeah, I liked the movie. It's a religious thriller and I'm not really religious, so a lot of the religious themes went over my head, but I like the themes of like beliefs and what you can see versus what you can't see. Yeah, and I really love the actors. I loved Hugh Grant. I really love Sophie Thatcher. I think she's really up and coming. I think she's going to be the new Scream Queen. And she's already been in a lot of horror movies and thriller TV shows. She's young Nad in Yellow Jackets, if you watch that. Oh, I love her so much. But yeah, if you have any good horror movie recs, can you drop them in the comments if you're on Spotify or send me a DM. I need new recs. We're always looking for new recommendations and we love horror movies. But any other movie recommendations, I'll take as well. So thank you for sending those. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm so excited for what we have to talk about today. Yeah, have you ever thought about how being yourself could change not just one life, but ripple out to impact everyone around you? That is the power of authentic leadership. And this week, we are talking about authentic leadership and what that really means. The ripple effect of authenticity and the foundation of authentic leadership, which is self-acceptance. And I was really thinking about who I look up to as an authentic leader and an authentic person. And while I've had so many amazing leaders in the workplace and in my personal life, still the first person that came to mind was Taylor Swift. And I love Taylor, love, 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 love. And I don't call myself a Swiftie. Let me just say that. I call myself a Band-Aid. Like I know every song, but I relate it to my life. And not trying to think how it relates to her or who she's dated or, what happened in her personal life that made this song. So I call myself a Band-Aid. I'm here for the music, not her personal life. And that's a term from the movie Almost Famous. But yeah, anyways, okay, so at least from my perspective, and I'd love to hear y'all's perspective on this, I don't think Taylor was always authentic. And maybe I wasn't paying as much attention to her, because I was in college and stuff when she first came out. But her music was always raw and vulnerable, which is what attracted a lot of people to her. But I think in the media, she had this good girl persona, which is totally understandable. But when she came out with Reputation, she had like this whole new attitude, like she had gone away for a little bit, probably gave her a lot of time to think on who she wants to be and how she wants to show up. And I think since each album, she has opened up more and more and been more and more raw and vulnerable as time goes on. And, during the Eras tour, you can tell and especially as the tour went on, you could tell, that she was being silly and talking right to us, and she made mistakes, and that helped us really see her as human. I mean, at least I could. Like, I love watching the errors to her TikToks. She would just like mess up and laugh in the stadium full of 70,000 people. And it gave me permission to know it's okay to make mistakes. Like, the biggest pop star in the world just flubbed her line. And, it's okay for me to make mistakes too. And, her kindness and her giving attitude really rubs off on fans, and it creates this really safe place for people to be themselves. Like, there were reports from all over the world, like how kind that Taylor Swift fans were when they came to their city, how they banded together in Vienna when those shows got canceled. And, we just really relate to her because how authentic she is through her lyrics and stage presence. But, and this is a big but, she doesn't show us everything or tell us everything, which I also think is very important. She protects her energy, and she has boundaries of which we will get into. And I just think that's so important as a leader as well. So the impact ripple is really what leadership is all about, right? You are influencing, you are leading, you are giving permission. So when you make an impact on one person, they make an impact on a stranger, who makes an impact on their neighbor, who makes an impact on their kid, who makes an impact on their classmate. Like, it goes on and on, but it all starts with us and the energy and effects authenticity and humanity can have on each other. But if you're anything like me or my friends or fellow coworkers, and you're a high performer or a recovering high performer, it can be really hard not to overthink what authenticity is and how it can get you ahead or perform better in your job. And we often think, you want to be an impactful leader and you want to be a good leader. And we often think that means that we have to be perfect. But with true authenticity, you are not leading with perfectionism. You are leading with permission. When you are authentic, you are giving others permission to be authentic as well. So just like Taylor Swift has in my life, among many other leaders and friends and family, who is someone whose authenticity has made an impact on you? And what effect did it have in your life? And also, my self-love coach just came into mind too, because I signed up with her because of how authentic and amazing her energy was. So it just really makes such a difference. And her being herself made an impact on me and hundreds of people that she's coached. And it just, makes you think of the ripple effect that all of those people have on the people that they come in contact with. And it just, it blows my mind. It makes me, it's just so exciting. But yeah, I hope to have her on, I guess, soon. She's so awesome. Okay. And I know authenticity definitely has its challenges, and it's such a huge buzzword right now. Maybe we're all kind of starting to get tired of hearing it, but it always tops the list of traits of what people want to see out of a good leader. So let's talk about what it really means, especially in women at work and for women in leadership. So let me take a drink real quick. So in traditional leadership, we have just been taught to be more like men. Many of us grew up absorbing those messages about what it means to be a leader, which more often than not mirrored traits traditionally associated with men, which are assertiveness, decisiveness, that no nonsense attitude. We were told to leave our emotions at the door, not to be too much, and to smile more. These messages often pushed us or are pushing us to conform and making it hard to feel authentic at work. Like, think of those moments when you hesitated to speak up in a meeting or dialed down your personality because you feared being labeled? And how would your leadership change if you just stopped fighting that need to be accepted and allowed yourself to just simply be who you are? But then there is a part where we actually are being labeled simply because we are women. And I don't want us to just gloss over that. It's a huge, huge thing going on in the workplace right now. And this is called the double bind. If we are assertive, we are told to tone it down. If we are emotional, we are weak or soft. Like we can't win either way, but we can win by simply being authentic. And, true authenticity isn't about being perfect or meeting everyone's expectations of you. It's about aligning what feels most real and true to you. Yes, there are systemic pressures, but stepping into your own style of leadership and most importantly, acknowledging that you're just not going to be for everyone can be incredibly liberating. I know for me, this is a battle I've been fighting my entire career. At the beginning of my career, looked up to my toxic leaders and became one. And obviously, that did not work out well for me. And when I started coaching, I was looking at all these successful coaches around me and tried to be just like them. They had made a lot of money. So why shouldn't I be exactly like them and do exactly like they're telling me to do? And of course, my energy was just off because I am not like them. And honestly, once I really started thinking about it, I don't value money. I value making an impact. That's what I value. Those are my values. So I'm me. I can't be anyone else. So finally, I was just like, well, what if I tried being myself? Mind blowing, right? And I know it's weird because you're like, why didn't I think of that from the beginning? But it's so hard when everyone around you is telling you to be like them in order to be successful. And you just innocently want to mirror what they did to get there. And that's, really maybe if you listen to my first episode, like what my issue is with leadership development right now. It's not one size fits all. It's not do exactly like I did and you will be successful too. We are so much more than just a step-by-step process. We're humans. So if you want to do that, I will say, and take this with what I'm telling you too, take what resonates and feels good to you about that person and align it with your values and strengths. Leave the rest behind. Take what aligns with you and your values and strengths, and then see where that gets you. So, the root of authenticity, that is self-acceptance. And self-acceptance is a huge part of self-love, and it's a huge part of feminine leadership, and it's so important to your leadership practice. And self-acceptance is recognizing that you are a whole, dynamic person and knowing that you are worthy as you are right now. That is self-acceptance. Knowing that you are worthy as you are right now. It's not about being perfect. It's about embracing your humanness, your humanity. And it's saying, I'm both ambitious and messy, confident and unsure. It's allowing your strengths and vulnerabilities to coexist. And when you accept yourself, you stop performing and start living. And that creates trust within yourself, self-trust, and trust with others, because authenticity isn't about being flawless. Like we all have flaws. It's about being real. And think about that leader you admire. What makes them truly authentic? And the odds are they're walking their talk because they've accepted themselves first. right? Authenticity needs self-acceptance to work because you can't lead others authentically without first leading yourself. And trust me, I get it. Self acceptance can feel so scary, especially if you spent years trying to be what others expect. But the truth is, people don't connect with perfection, they connect with honesty. And this was a huge lesson I had to learn. So, if there are any parts of you that you are currently resisting, how could accepting those parts make you a stronger leader? All right, now let's put authenticity into practice. What does it look like? And as equally as important, what does it not look like? Authenticity looks like walking your talk, being in integrity, and aligning your actions with your values. Authenticity does not mean you are sharing every detail of your life or even bringing your whole self to work. And if you've been in my community for a while, you know that I hate that saying. And I really, really dislike when people say that. Because as a woman or a minority, or if you're part of the LGBTQIA community, you might not feel safe sharing your whole self at work, every part of yourself. And that's okay. You can be true to yourself while still maintaining boundaries and protecting your energy. Authenticity is about showing up in a way that makes you feel aligned to yourself, but not exposed. Like, how can you honor authenticity while still being safe? Like, think about, what does authenticity look like for you in a space where you felt safe? And then how can you recreate that feeling for others? That's what a leader does. So just think about that. Okay, so now I really want you to start practicing some self acceptance. Be unapologetic for being exactly you. It's so freeing and magical and will lead you to loving and accepting yourself, which will change your energy, which will make you become more magnetic as a leader. I promise. Okay, so here are a few mantras you can try this week. I release the need to perform and embrace the power of showing up as myself. I honor all parts of myself, knowing that my imperfections are part of my strengths. I am worthy of being seen and heard just as I am. I am enough simply as I am. I completely love and accept myself. So just repeat these this week when you have some time for mindfulness. If you're driving, if you're making your coffee in the morning, just repeat these mantras and, see how they lead to more self-acceptance this week. And that is it. And just remember, when you lead authentically, you give others permission to do the same. And the ripple effect of that kind of leadership, it changes lives, starting with your own. So take some time this week to notice your ripple effect. How are you impacting people by simply being you? So have a good week, my loves. And if you want to dive deeper, I have a free 7-day self-love challenge. It's called Leading with Self-Love on my website. And this will guide you through how to love and accept yourself just a little bit more so you can be an impactful leader. So I'll put the link to that in my show notes, and feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Self Love Knowing. And my website is theselfloveKnowing.com. Thank you again so much for being here, and I will see you next time.